Well, what's going on, fellow zombies? Yeah, it's another one I'm doing right now, and it's pissing me off, guys. It's 10:13 in the morning, West Coast time, Tuesday, the 20th of October, 2025. Your zombie, Weaver Johnsey of Roseman, California. Sleep deprived as usual, and I blame her. But this one ought to keep me up for a while. Besides getting hooked up on caffeine, try this threat from Trump. How about sending in more than just National Guard down your throat? Overseas, he mentioned in a press conference, and I'm now hearing about it, where soldiers are gathered. He mentioned at a press conference that he wants to send the military into the cities. I mean, more than what is now. Not just grabbing everybody else, National Guard. I'm talking empty military bases to send troops over, breaking Posse Comitatus entirely. I mean, breaking it as if it doesn't matter anymore. The legality that we're dealing with here, the laws, the rules, the regulations, the Constitution of the United States, all tossed because Trump wants an invasion. He wants to invade. He wants to run in and save people. He's trying to do this to save people so I can have my ego fed. I gotta eat my ego. I got to save you because I'm such a good guy. So I'm throwing you in the military to screw with you at this point over here. And I'm letting Steve Miller run everything. I'm such a wonderful president. And he's asking, more like demanding from the troops to do this. Don't these people realize what the hell's going on? Do they not care that they are breaking federal laws? Including one of the oldest ones that happened right after the Civil War. Or was it before the Civil War? I am going to get that. The term I used was Posse Comitatus, Posse being a mass of people. It's called the Posse Comitatus Act. I know Wikipedia will have the information on that one. But I could go over to Congress or to another place like Law, Cornell, Education. Give you the definition and I'll give you the gist. Okay, from the Cornell Law School, Legal Information Institute, the definition of Posse Comitatus according to them. If I can get this damn thing to work right, I want to see something. Anytime when I got the president trying to screw us over one way or another, I'm getting pissed off about it. Oh, great. Prime Minister Netanyahu is blasting Gaza one more time. He's basically saying, screw the ceasefire. We have a world gone mad. Posse Comitatus. A Latin phrase meaning the power of the country, or power of the county. Posse Comitatus describes a group of citizens who are called upon to assist a sheriff in keeping the peace to conduct a rescue or apprehend a criminal. Ability of a sheriff to assemble a posse, even the extent of the powers that a sheriff can delegate to the posse, vary depending upon the jurisdiction. Some posses engage in volunteer services, while others can act as reserve police officers if needed. In the spirit of it, the military adopted this and saying, okay, we will not invade our cities unless called upon if we got like natural disasters and then we can help. When Hurricane Katrina kicked in about over 25 more than that years ago. We saw how the Coast Guard, but also the United States Navy and the Marines and military were calling it an action to help out. We didn't have the FEMA. FEMA would have been directing resources left and right. But because we had natural disasters happening, we depended upon our military to act as civilian helpers of sorts. Not enforcing rules, regulations, or enforcing a law down people's throats with the point of a gun, but with an extended helping hand. Trump is pointing the gun at people. Through his advisors, through Stephen Miller and through Hegseth, and Noemi and Bondi and everybody else, is pointing the gun at people. The same people who voted them in, and for those who didn't vote them in. Posse Comitatus is something that the military won't touch because they don't want to. They don't want to invade their own damn towns. And being peacekeepers and policy enforcers, that's what they're asked to do. Going in different towns in America. It's unheard of in every which way, in every which fashion. But unfortunately, this is what we have. This is what we have. So according to the articles, and at a tour group just to scare the hell out of people left and right, Trump is doing this. Trump is doing this. He wants this to happen. He wants this to scare the hell out of people left and right. He's trying to tell people that he's in charge. Through Stephen Miller, who's taken a hell of a lot more power than everything else. We're going to have people starving to death. They can't get the food. We have people losing jobs, furloughed. We have people's health and safety threatened by Trump's own mismanagement. Trump still wants to send military to scare the hell out of people. And he's sending over ballot watchers, poll watchers. You talk about going nuts at this point. But this is going nuts. He had to say something at an overseas rally. Sending other people other than just the National Guard. That means Posse Comitatus is getting null and voided by his chief of staff and by Trump. They can't do that. I said that. A lot of people have said that. The problem is they don't care. They don't care. They don't give a damn. They think they're doing what's right. And that they think they're protecting America. Their version of insanity, but definitely not America. And definitely not following the rules and regulations and laws already put out. Even through the Constitution of the United States. Problem is, they don't care. They got the apathy. They got the indifference. They're still blowing boats out of the water in the Caribbean. Despite the fact there was a hurricane already bypassed their ass. They still want to blow boats out of the water. They're using the military for this shit. They're using the commanders for this shit. And he's going to be dealing with the lower court issues left and right. But wait until they start coming up to the higher courts. The higher courts are going to have to make the determination whether or not the Constitution does allow for all this damn insanity to happen. But nowhere in the text does it say it. If we're going to be declaring war on Venezuela for whatever reasons, it's got to be Congress that has to do the damn job. Problem is, we've got something called the War Powers Act that got passed through Congress back in the 60s when we were dealing with the Vietnam War, when it was just getting started. And we had I'm still having issues over this damn thing. Because we also used it as justification to going after Iraq and Afghanistan. unless we already actually had a declaration of war from Congress. And it was a constant 90-day renewal. How would you like to keep fighting a war that was constantly being renewed every 90 days without going through Congress to declare it? I got to see something. Okay, how many times has Congress... Oh, gotta love the intuitive half the time for Google anyway. Alrighty. And usually the Senate doesn't? Well, according to the Senate archives. According to what the U.S. Senate has for its archives. 11. 11 times the United States had sent a declaration of war. 1812, Great Britain got it. 1846, Mexico got it. 1898, Spain. 1917, Germany. 1917, Austria-Hungary. Hungary. 1941, Japan. 1941, Germany. 1941, Italy. 1942, Bulgaria. 1942, Hungary. And 1942, Romania. And that's what the United States Senate recognizes. Officially through a chamber of Congress. According to the Constitution of the United States, when it was followed, I'm asking, how many times has Congress used the War Powers Act? Let's go to Britannica, shall we? 1973, how about that one? Passed by Congress on November 7th, 1973, over the veto of President Richard Nixon. It was called the War Powers Resolution. Senate approved bill, widely used. The act sought to restrain the president's ability to commit U.S. forces overseas by requiring the executive branch to consult and report to Congress before involving U.S. forces in foreign hostilities. Before! Widely considered a measure for preventing future Vietnams. I am getting a PDF on this one. Research, more research. Because I need this information. I want this damn information. I need this information because we are trying to avoid Vietnam all over again. We could just go to a country and blow the shit out of them. Ha 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 ha. And that's how it's being felt right now. And how this damn thing is acting out and playing out. And how we're losing our frickin' minds over shit like this. Of course, if I want to go for the Wikipedia, I'll go to Congress. I need to get that clarification there. War Powers Resolution, expedited procedures in the House and Senate. This was publicized back in June 24th of 2025. There was a summary. I need the PDF version downloaded. Ooh. No. Download the PDF. I want to download the PDF. All of it. No. Trump had been saying, Oh, there's a shake-up plan as ICE fails to meet the goal of 3,000 daily arrests. Ooh, nobody's doing their job right, are they? They can't find 3,000 people per day? 3,000 bad people? They're not doing enough? So now we got to change everybody in the ICE? Do they still want the 3,000 people, or are they going to lower it down, or are they going to be increasing it about 10,000? If they're going to be doing that, now we're depleting cities and towns of people. And how are we doing this, I wonder? Oh, I've got to go over to some of the stories I've got. I am trying to get the War Powers Act. I want to get the PDF for everything else on this one. I have to get information. I said it before and I said it again. Even though I am a Democrat at this point over here, I blame both my party and the Republican Party. I'm sorry, the Trumplicant Party for putting this in order. I know the Democrats wanted to argue about the damn health care situation before the year ends, but right now we've already canceled out the EBT program of making people starve to death, even though we just lost their jobs. And I blame them both for this damn shit. I blame Johnson for not doing shit and choosing not to do shit, not working with the Democrats. He made this possible. I blame the Democrats because they weren't aggressive enough. Don't show up on the Congress steps at this point over here. You go over to the damn offices. You go over to other places where they're hiding out. And then you tell it to them. Here's the camera. You tell it to me face to face. We can't have a conversation on tape about this damn thing. You and me right now. What do you say? And if you say no, you are telling the people no. I'm here to have a conversation. We need to have the healthcare situation. Are you going to be putting yourself on the record? And if you're not, we got to have them on a record on this one. If we actually do have one side trying to work, it needs to be worse. We need to do it worse. We need to get them confronted. We need a confrontation. We need a confrontation. They don't want to do it. Confront them. Otherwise, I don't know what the hell we're doing, to tell you the truth. So, while I'm still trying to get some stuff PDF'd, research. I'm seeing headlines passing by on CNN driving me nuts that I'm not paying attention enough, and I should be, but I haven't been. I'm bad on that one. My grandmother would jump on my face on that one, so would Ma, saying, "How dare you use improper language? That's not the proper language, John. We taught you better than that." Yeah, Mama. Yeah, Grandma, you did. So why are you using it? It's lazy. Yes, I know it's lazy at this point. And for right now, this is what I have to do. So enough of the outrage, as I'm still trying to bury myself alive with everything else going on in life. That being said, guys, I'm Altus.